What's going on, everybody? We are one day closer to the drop of MLB The Show 24, and I cannot wait. There are some cool things that I am excited about that are dropping in this upcoming game. Of course, some information that we still don't have. Just zero information, really. But for what we do have, I'm excited. Now is the time for you to get ready for MLB The Show 24. Pick up 23 again. Start hitting the sticks just a little bit. And I'm here to help you. In the 10-minute mailbag, I answer any MLB The Show related questions you might have. And this close to the new game cycle, it's time to start getting ready. As always in this series, I put 10 minutes on the clock and answer your questions. So if you have one that you'd like me to answer next week, put it in the comments section down below. Of course, like the video and subscribe. Being subscribed is the best thing you can do because we're hitting MLB The Show 24 big on this channel. News, opinions, updates, interviews, etc. And if you want to know what etc. is, you gotta subscribe. All right, let's get on with this thing. As always, 10 minutes are being put on the clock. And we're going to start. So 3, 2, 1, begin. Our first question today, I could not find actually in my YouTube comments. However, it is appearing in my YouTube Studio Creator app. So I'm going to read it from there. You won't be able to see it yourself. What batters would you suggest for beginners? Would it be better to go with contact speedy guys? And this question comes from Andrew. So Andrew, I'm sorry I couldn't flash it on the screen, but I read it and I said your name, so that's cool. If you're a beginner player, I mean, I don't know how concerned I'd be with which players I'm using. I think as a beginner, you should just be trying to get a feel for the game and try to get a feel for all types of hitters. I think you should do trial and error with as many people as humanly possible. But if you're a beginner and you're a little impatient and you're looking for success right away, my suggestion for you is to use high contact, high vision guys. Speed does not matter. Don't worry about speed. I don't suggest you bunt. If you're a new player, don't worry about bunting. Learn how to hit the ball. Swing the bat. Use the PCI. So high contact, high vision guys. Somebody like Brian Roberts. Look at his card here. He's got 125 contact right, 120 contact left. Max vision, max clutch if you get runners on base in scoring position. Plus, he's a switch hitter, so that helps you as well. Rod KREW is incredible. He's got max contact. He's got max vision. He's got a really nice lefty swing. He's somebody I suggest you use. Tim Raines, he is phenomenal. He's so much fun to use. He happens to be a speedy boy, but like I said, you don't have to use speedy boys. He's super, super cool. Lou Brock has one of the best swings in the game. I know he doesn't have max contact versus left, but I don't really think it matters with Lou Brock. He's just insane. I mean, there are hundreds of guys. Trey Turner's really easy to use. J.P. Crawford's easy to use. Cody Bellinger. Like, just look at anybody's God Squad right now, and basically it's entirely filled with people who have max contact and high vision. So, ultimately, while yes, I think you can take the direction of using some of those higher contact guys, my best advice for you, play a game with a bunch of guys, change up your entire team. Play a game with those, change up your entire team. Until you start seeing trends of which guys you're good with, which types of swings you're bad with, which players you did well with, and then you kind of collaborate, put them all together, and bingo, there's your lineup. If you guys have any other tips for beginning hitters, please let me know, or please let our friend know in the comments, because it's a good time to begin. A month or so, 3.5 weeks or so before the new game, it's a great time to start learning things. So take advantage of it. Try as many at-bats, or as many batters, rather, as you can. Appreciate your question. The next question comes from User. I believe User is the one who asked us last week about the pinpoint method with going halfway through the pitching circle thingy. But User wants to know, what are your hitting mechanics and views? I personally use catcher near with the bat PCI with no outer or inner. Only bat. Okay, so interesting question. I don't really get asked a lot about my settings, which is fine, because I think everybody's settings should be personal to them, because only you know how you perform with certain settings. But because you asked, I will, of course, show you. So I use... It's going to take me a second to find it, because I never change it. I set my settings day one. I don't touch them again. We are a zone hitter, of course. I don't use the anchor. Okay, my PCI center is diamonds. I use no inner and only outer. I use PCI outer and diamonds for the center. Color is whatever, it's green. And 40% transparency, because I don't really want it to be clogging up the screen. And I use, where's my, where does it say? Oh, Strike Zone. Strike Zone's what I hit on. So let me tell you why I use the PCI I use. So you guys can hardly see it, right? That's kind of the point. I don't want it to be super distracting. Look at DJ LeMahieu. Here's why I like diamonds. Diamonds, like I said, are not distracting. They're just like little dots in the middle of the screen. You don't see them really when you're swinging. The reason I like outer only is, it kind of goes against what a lot of people say. A lot of people say aim small, miss small. What does that mean? That means if you know kind of exactly, bad swing, if you know kind of exactly where you have to put the PCI, just be as exact as possible with it. Don't even use an inner, just use your diamonds or your whatever the hell they're called. As you can see, I haven't warmed up today. But I like using outer only because I like not getting distracted with my eyes, and I like knowing a range in which I need to be in. It just works for me. I've had people comment like on TikToks and stuff like, oh wow, you're on an easy difficulty, look at the size of your PCI. I'm like, no, you Neanderthal, it is outer only with diamonds. I'm just comfortable with it. I suggest if you're struggling at the plate, give it a try. It opens up your eyes really well, and ultimately you got to be able to see the damn ball. The bat PCI, I just want to comment on it because you said you use it. I have no problem with the bat PCI because at the end of the day, all the PCIs work literally exactly the same. Wow, I suck with DJ LeMahieu. I haven't hit the ball yet. All the PCIs work exactly the same. However, I think the bat PCI, there we go, can be semi-distracting through the zone. I also think, like mentally, it impacts you with, like, thinking where you need to hit the ball versus where you just put the center on it and hit it. I thought it was a cool idea to add the bat PCI. I was an advocate for adding the bat PCI. But I was more of an advocate for changing the way the PCI works and having it be like a bat. Instead, they just added a bat visual to the PCI. Does that make sense? So, I'm not a bat PCI person. It's fine if you are. Obviously, this is not a judgment zone. Do whatever you like. It's your own settings. I'm going to stop swinging so I don't embarrass myself anymore. But those are my settings. Those are my settings. So I hope that helped. Give them a try if you're struggling. Next up, Carter Carpenter. I like your name. Do you think it's possible for Sony to recover sets and seasons for next year, or will they go back to the power creep? I'm stunned that I'm recording this on February 24th, Saturday, February 24th. I am stunned that we still don't know the answer to that question, honestly. Which leads me to believe that sets and seasons are back. There's two main reasons why I think this. Number one, you don't completely try something new last year and abandon it after the first year. You work to perfect it. Secondly, understand, not you, just in general, understand the backlash, why can't I speak? Backlash, that sets and seasons, that the community gives sets and seasons. People don't like it, and I get it. So if you're a marketing team, SDS has one. This is just a theory, by the way, not backed up in any fact, just a theory because I also work in marketing. I'm an editor, I'm a writer, and I work in marketing. It's all, we don't have a lot of people on staff. You gotta do a lot of stuff. If you're keeping something in a yearly release that everybody hates, or not everybody hates, a lot of people dislike, why would you say it's coming back early on in your news drop cycle? You wait until the end. Because then it's less time for you to hear all the BS about it. That is a theory. Granted, they're hearing BS about it now anyway because they haven't said anything about it. It's just a theory. I think Sets and Seasons has potential. I think Sets and Seasons can work. Sets and Seasons did not work great this year. In 23, it was a trial run. If Sets and Seasons doesn't work in 24, I think it's time we kick it to the curb and we go back to what we like, or what we're used to. But I think they give it one more shot, Carter. I truly think they do. Thank you for your question. And we've got one more here. We're running out of time. I understand that. Our final question comes from Michael D. Torres. Do you think Yamamoto will be in the game? Do you think the remaining notable free agents will be signed and make the right teams before release? Yamamoto will be in the game, 100%. Will the remaining free agents be signed? I hope the Yankees sign Snell, even though I'm still on the fence about Blake Snell as a expensive pitcher, but that's neither here nor there. And will they be on the right teams before release? It depends. I don't know when the game is technically final. Like, the game right now might be final. I doubt it, but it might be. But that's not a big deal, because as soon as they sign, it just takes one easy roster update, and they'll be on their teams. I wouldn't be concerned about that right away. Guys like Blake Snell and Cody Bellinger being diamonds not signed might help you finish some collections, potentially. Jordan Montgomery won't be a diamond, so I'm not worried about that. Matt Chapman won't be probably won't be a diamond. Who else am I forgetting? There's JD Martinez, he's not going to be a diamond. There's so many guys who haven't signed. There will be updates early on. It might even be within the first week. It might be before the regular season starts with final rosters, like 25-man or 26-man rosters. They will be in the game, don't worry. They're not going to get left out. I just don't know what teams they'll be on. 10-minute mailbag complete. Thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. I hope I was able to answer some of your questions. As always, leave them down below. I want to help you. Also, again, just like last week, I am working through the camera stuff. I'm trying to figure it out. I know it looks pretty good. I had some issues last week with like my mouth and the words being out of sync. Sorry. So I'm trying to fix that. If it happens again in this video, I apologize. Trust me, I'm working on it. I am fully aware. I'm a professional. Not really. Semi-professional. All right, everybody. Love you all. Happy leap year week. What a silly thing we do with leap years. See you next time.